Claim to victory. Let's listen now to Karl Dean.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for being so patient with us. There were people voting, and we wanted to wait and see how everything turned out. It didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to, but it just reminds me of something that Adlai Stevenson said when he lost an election to Dwight Eisenhower. He was sort of paraphrasing Abraham Lincoln. And he said, this is sort of like I feel like a child who has stubbed their toe in the middle of the night. I'm too old to cry, and it hurts too much to laugh. So that's kind of how I feel right now. Thank you. Certainly, I want to start by saying that I wish Bill Lee all the success in the world, and I'll support him as governor. And we all need to do so, and to make sure that our great state continues to move forward. First and foremost, I want to thank Ann, my wife, for her. Thank you. For her never-failing love and support, and for crisscrossing the state with me over these past
special election
years.
Coverage. This is the concession speech by Governor candidate Karl Dean.
The group that worked with women voters. And you know, if you think this is hard on me, I remember one of the great things that was said about Ann in '07 when I first ran for mayor was, you never want to get into a competition with her where they keep score. She's very competitive. I also want to thank my wonderful children, Rasko, Francis, and Wallen, and my beautiful daughter-in-law, Caroline, for this campaign was truly a family affair, and it really brought us together, and it was a lot of fun. And as I reflect on this, and if some of you reflect upon whether you'll ever pursue a political career, don't talk to me tonight about it, talk to me in another week or so. But I would say people always ask about what a strain it is on the family. I think it was just the opposite for us. I also want to thank my 3 grandchildren. Even if none of them are awake right now, all three came along during this campaign. Davis came at the very beginning, and Foster and Mitchell came 8 days ago at the end, and they will forever be a big part of my memories of this race. I want to say thank you to a great human being, a great friend, and somebody who my career would not be where it is without her, Courtney Wheeler, for heading my campaign. Courtney and the staff gave everything they had 7 days a week in every corner of the state. They were tireless in their dedication. My brother George is here with us today from Massachusetts. George is best known as my brother who had season tickets to the Red Sox. But he also mentioned to me today when I came home from traveling around the state today that he'd been spending time at headquarters, and I was so lucky to have people who didn't leave anything on the field, so thank you for that. I also want to thank all the elected officials who leaned in to support me, from our great Congressman Jim Cooper, Steve Cohen, former Congressman Lincoln Davis, former Congressman Bob Clement. One of the great things, again, about politics, when you look at things and decide what you want to do with your life, people talk about how acrimonious it can be. Bob and I ran against each other at one point, and you might remember, in '07. And Bob couldn't have been a better friend and a better supporter throughout this process. And one of the highlights of this was getting to know him and building a friendship. I want to thank Darren Jernigan, Brenda Gilmore, John Ray Clemens, State Senator Jeff Yarborough, Andy Burke in Chattanooga, Madeline Rojero in Knoxville, the plumbers and the pipe fitters who were the first union to get behind me, and all the other unions and members of the labor movement who supported me. Thank you to all the educators, the veterans, the clergy, especially Bishop Maynard, Pastor Linward Dillard, who along with Emmylou Harris narrated ads for me, and it always hurts my feelings when the ads where I don't appear in and somebody else narrates them receive the best reception, but that's true. And thank you to all those folks for what they do for our young people, our country, and our state. I want to say thank you to Mike Kerb and a group of Republicans who got behind this campaign very publicly. That was not easy to do, but they did it. I want to say thank you to Calvin Anderson. One of the things that I did very early on when I decided to run was to ask Calvin to be my treasurer. He was retiring from Blue Cross Blue Shield then. I believe very firmly that I had the best treasurer you could ever have. He is the only treasurer in this race who has a street named after him. He is a truly great Tennessean. He is a great Memphian, and his friendship has meant so much to me during these months. Thank you to all my advisors, both near and far, and all who helped guide the campaign. And finally, thank you to all you who are here tonight and all the volunteer donors across Tennessee who gave so much to make this race possible. We didn't quite reach the goal tonight. Despite everybody's hard work, our message didn't quite carry the day. But I can tell you one thing. Throughout this campaign, I talked about the fact that in 2016 that our state was 50th in voter turnout. Well, we weren't 50th in voter turnout tonight. And whether you agree or disagree with the result, and hopefully the people in here hopefully disagree with the result, it is a good thing that people in Tennessee voted the way they did, and I can't be more proud of the city of Nashville, who just broke every record possible today in voting. But I still believe the message we had was a message that Tennessee needed to hear. It's a message about improving our schools, increasing access to health care, growing our economy, making sure this beautiful state will always be a place where everybody is welcome, where everybody is valued, and where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. Those are the things that we have to keep pushing for, and I know you'll help keep push for them with me. We fought the good fight, and now we'll move on to fight in a different arena. I wouldn't trade this experience for anything. I am probably one of the few people now who can add to their resume that I have visited all 95 counties in Tennessee. And what I mean about how moving it is to see this great state. It has been an incredibly rewarding experience. I've learned so much, and I've been impressed by everything that I've seen and all the great people that I've met. And based on what I see and what I've seen of our state, I will say this, that Tennessee's best days are still to come. And this has been a great honor for me, my family, and again, from my bottom of my heart, and speaking for all these folks here, thank you. Thank you.
All right, former